was reading that you're both lawyers by profession. Does that give you a connection, Ken?
No, I wasn't a lawyer by profession. I read law at university, but I didn't read much law, really. I only read a tiny bit. And I can... a bit of Roman law, which I can't remember at all. No, I would have been a terrible lawyer, so the law was spared. But I don't think much of it remains, really.
Actually, I mean, he's. I think he would have been a brilliant lawyer, really. I often take the piss, but I'm not now, because in a strange way, he's, you know, with a project or a film, you know, he's very, very forensic. He's a very generous collaborator, because you're starting from scratch. There's a million possibilities, but he wants to get to the root of it. And I think good lawyers do that as well. I've worked with some very good lawyers, and you know, they're unrelenting, because you have to get to what's underneath. If you're going to do something well, be prepared and take people on, and to, you know, have a result, you have to be, you know, you have to have that stubborn quality to get to the bottom of it.
And do you feel like your work is giving a voice to people who often aren't heard, Ken?
Well, they have a voice. It's just that they're not reported. I mean, you meet brilliant people, working class people, very articulate, very understanding, very clear about their situation, their social situation, their industrial situation, the power situation within society, very clear. But the media tend not to report them. Whereas in our business, in films, you get well, like now, you're talking to us now. So, I mean, it's not the fact that we would be their voice, but we would enable their voice to be heard. But it's their voice. Well, it's Paul's voice, but it's also their voice. Because I think to say you would be their voice is kind of patronising, you know. I mean, people can speak for themselves, and I guess we try and enable that to happen.
You've made around a dozen films together. For you, Paul, what is the common thread that runs through all of those films?
Well, I don't think thematically there's a common thread, an obvious common thread. But I suppose the common thread is how we work, and how we try to approach it. I think that's been the common thing. I suppose we're always trying to, well, I suppose a lot of it's instinct, you know, some of it's luck, some of it's just what's going on round about you. And so every single film has had a different spark to it. You know, they started off because I had been an eyewitness to the war in Nicaragua in Central America, and then after getting to know Ken and working together, he said, why don't you have a crack at trying to do one in Glasgow, which was my home city. And so that was a great relief, really, to write one in your own city and not to have so much of it in Spanish. And but then other ones have been because of our preoccupations that have concerned us. The Iraq War was through Irish. Ken was very interested in Ireland through his connection with Jim Allen, and given my Irish roots too, it was something that resonated with me too. So I think what you always try to do is just find an interesting premise and good characters, and hopefully if you tell that story truthfully, it's worth the effort because it resonates just beyond itself. So I think it's more the approach that's been in common rather than, because some of the films have been historical in different countries, different languages, like Bread and Roses, as opposed to some that have been very, very particularly in the UK.
You just received the Carlo Vivari Crystal Globe for Outstanding Artistic Contribution to World Cinema. What does that mean to you both, Paul?
Well, it actually means a great deal to me, and I feel very, very grateful to Carlo Vivari, because we've been to many festivals together, but there's not been one that has honoured the notion of collaboration. And I think that's a lovely thing to do, because that's the beauty about making films. You make them with, you know, a big family, and Ken has many very, very close relationships within that process with Jonathan Morris, who's the director, with George Fenton, who's editor. Aye. What did I say?
Director.
Oh man, you can see I've been up till 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, arrived at 5 o'clock this morning. That's my excuse. You know, so there's all those other, but you know, the beauty of the writer-director relationship is, you know, you're saying why this story, and to have that honoured by a festival, I think is very, very good. Because I've been incredibly lucky with the directors I've worked with Ken, with Athir Boyeen, and with and Clive Gordon, so being treated with massive respect. But I know from speaking to other writers that they're often not treated that way, or they're dumped, or what's happened to them has been massacred. And every time I've dealt with Ken, there's been massive respect to the work that I do, although I'll change in the process. So to have a festival recognise that, I think is really, really important for other writers, and that's why I'm particularly glad to receive it. And a big thank you to the festival.
Well, I came. It means a lot, really, because Karlovy Vary has always been a bit special in my mind. Not that, I mean, I came twice once in the 60s, one in 1970, a long time ago, and either side of the invasion, the Soviet invasion. And I saw the change in mood, from before and after. And we were making Kes, the film that they kindly gave a prize to in 1970. We were making it during 1968 when the tanks were rolling into Prague. And the cameraman, Chris Menges, had worked with a Czech cameraman and learned a lot from him. So we were very aware of Czech films. And then we were listening to the reports. And then it came to Karlovy Vary and won the prize. So since then, I've always felt very close. Just in my head, really. Just very sympathetic to the Czech people and to Czech culture and to Karlovy Vary in particular.